Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and welcome back to our Growing Ranks series. Let's learn things. This week's episode, we'll be talking about something almost every Magic player needs to do, a bulk up! Don't worry, this video won't require any exercising at all, and it will give you those sought after results. Today we are going to talk about a different kind of bulking, collecting bulk rares. Bulk rares are everywhere. Play in a draft or sealed event and you'll likely end up with 2 to 4 of them each time. Not every card can be a superstar and constructed, so all your conjured currency, possibility storm, and one with nothing end up in the back of a binder, or stuffed into 50-cent boxes in stores everywhere. Regardless of experience or play skill, almost everyone has them sitting around. Most stores and dealers buy bulk rares around 10 cents to 15 cents each, which gives them a steady price and plenty of outlets to turn them into cash or singles. Even though it's only 80 cents, many players will take that instead of carrying around 8 Search the City. So how can we take advantage of this abundance of crap rares? We will show you a couple ways to turn that pile of junk into cash or singles. Let's say you have a Fiendslayer Paladin that you want to get rid of. It's worth around $8, but selling it to a store will likely only get you 3 or 4. You could trade for another card of similar value, but you'd rather have the cash instead. Bulking comes in handy here. If John wants your Paladin and has 70 to 80 bulk rares to trade, you can make the trade and sell the bulk. While it adds an extra step and a little more time, you have effectively sold your Fiendslayer Paladin at vendor price instead of buy list price. A good way to get rid of stuff you may not be able to sell is to get the equivalent amount of bulk rares and turn it into cash. This is most effective with cards that are around $2 to $4, as most players have 40 bulk rares with them and those cards do not show up on buy lists at very high prices. Bulking can help you get to singles you couldn't normally afford, especially if you're trying to get cards from a store. Trading down into 220 bulk rares to get the exploration for your commander deck will cost you less than selling $40 worth of singles to buy it from a store, or handing over $22 you don't have. If you are really ambitious, you can just stockpile bulk rares and then move them at once for a big payout. One of our contributors at the Mana Source has turned a pile of 4,000 plus bulk rares into a Mox Ruby and 2 boxes of Zendikar. It took a little patience and a lot of trades, but turning a pile of random singles into a Mox and 2 boxes is worth it. Another possible bonus is finding cards worth more than bulk. Sometimes it's easier to move a $1 or $2 card at bulk than try to trade it away. Occasionally you may pick up a card that is higher in value than initially anticipated. You may end up with more on your end if you are willing to make an effort to move the $2 rares, even for more bulk rares. Bulk rares are effectively the middleman to cash or higher end singles, but it isn't entirely foolproof. Everyone has bulk rares, but some players are content with carrying their colossal whale instead of 10 cents. Getting a dime per rare is close to nothing, which means there's very little risk to hang on it. If a trader has a very small quantity of bulk rares, you're probably going to end up empty-handed. Look for traders who have a bunch to move and get them all at once, as you won't make as much progress if you try to grab 1 or 2 rares per trade. Other players may be reluctant to give up their bulk because they value it higher than bulk. More often than not, bulk rares can trade for as high as $1 in order to close a gap in a trade. This doesn't mean that holding on to every bulk rare is going to make you massive profits in trades. They are mostly used as filler. These players aren't going to be able to help you reach your goal due to reluctance to move rares at such a low price. There's the fear that a bulk rare could shoot up at any minute, which is why some players hold on to their bulk. Time is also worth your consideration. This is not for someone looking to make a quick profit, especially when you're trying to get something expensive. It will take many trades to get a sufficient amount of bulk since the average player only has so many rares. Fortunately, with some networking, you can get the same traders to offer you bulk, making it easier to get it in large amounts. Players who play draft or sealed regularly will end up with bulk after the event and most likely want to turn it into something else. Your patience will be rewarded when a player wants to trade you a couple hundred bulk rares at once for cards you don't need. Another disadvantage with bulk rares is the fact that you need a lot of them to get anything. Eventually you aren't going to want to carry around thousands of bulk rares when you could just turn them into cash or singles. It may physically bulk you up after all if you are forced to lug boxes of cards everywhere. Sometimes the right moment to dump bulk rares is when you are tired of having them. Finally, some stores won't take bulk rares, but likely you would know this in advance and wouldn't have bothered trading for them in the first place. Fortunately, almost all dealers at PTQs and higher end events will take your bulk. Very rarely will you have a situation where you are stuck with it, as you can always sell them online and ship them out. The value of bulk will always hold as well, so you won't have to worry about your dimes turning into pennies overnight. Now that you are bulked up, go buy some sunglasses and muscle milk before you head to F&M. You might even want to take a before and after shot of all your bulk just so no one can dispute it. Next week, we'll talk about trading online. As always, subscribe below for the latest and most reliable Magic the Gathering information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source, I'm Wedge, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.